Now, some of you might be tempted to say, hey, wait, that's a pretty good argument. Grief is irrational. I'll never feel it again. You know, you've convinced me. Grief makes no sense. I'm going to give it up. Well, I think that would be a really poor idea for a number of reasons. First off, it probably won't work. Grief is a very tenacious emotion. It sticks around, and it sticks around for very good reasons. Because it's healthy, psychologically. Someone who does not grieve after the death of someone they love is cruising for a bruising. They're going to be in a lot of trouble emotionally later down the road. But it's certainly not impossible. You know, maybe you get like Zen meditation going on or something like that. You become super stoic and you manage to successfully purge yourself of grief. What would actually happen if you pulled it off, despite my advice? Oh, I'm sorry. Charlie Brown has always said, grief is a good thing. So if you do give up on grief, then it has to follow that death is no longer a bad thing. I mean, that's sort of the logic of it right there. If you really do abandon grief, then death is no longer a bad thing. But think about what that would mean for ethics. Think about what that would mean for our conception of right and wrong. I mean, for one thing, the prohibition against murder no longer makes any sense. If you're killing someone, you're sending them to heaven. You're doing the best thing that you could possibly do for another human being. So it would make no sense to say that we shouldn't kill people anymore. Now, okay, maybe you're saying something like, well, divine command theory, God tells us not to kill. Okay, so maybe they could get around murder. But think about the other things. It would still make no sense to invest so much money and resources into medicine, police, the fire department, trying to end global poverty. Why should we be breaking our backs trying to save lives if when people die, that's the best thing that happens to them? If we give up on grief, the vast majority of our traditional moral intuitions have to go with it. And I hope I don't have to spell out for you why that would be a really bad idea. Now, some of you might be thinking that I'm being too much of a pessimist here. So if you think back to Professor Bellin's talk last time, maybe making some sort of pessimistic induction that life sucks, so the only way to make it good is there's no afterlife or something like that. And so this is a traditional reaction. People commonly assume that if there is no afterlife, then this life can't mean anything. That this life only gets meaning in terms of what comes next. But I think, and I hope, that this thought experiment has showed that the opposite is true. That's actually the other way around. If there is an eternal afterlife, then really nothing in this life makes a difference. This life is temporal, short. We come in, we go out, we die. It's the next life that really matters. This life matters precisely because it's the only one we get. Poet Wallace Stevens once said that death is the mother of beauty. And Socrates, famously said that the whole purpose of philosophy is to prepare us for death. Now, how can we do this if we keep denying the reality of death? We keep assuming there is no such thing as death because there is an eternal life afterwards. And that might seem like a strange example if you know your history of philosophy, of course, because Socrates himself believed in an afterlife. He's perfectly, calm, placid.